My favorite winter fragrances. Let's talk about it. Alright friends, John here from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. And today we're going to be doing part one of my favorite winter fragrances. So if you would, go ahead and smash that like button. Leave us a comment. Let me know what your favorite winter fragrances are to wear. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, we say thank you for coming back. But if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you got the notifications on. That way you're notified every time we upload this sweet smelling fragrance related content. Alright, so let's just get into it. This list is going to be no niche, but there will be a few niche clones. But mainly designers, and the designers will range from very affordable to some that you're going to have to pay retail price for, or maybe even above, because it's out of stock everywhere all the time. So, all right, let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do part one because I don't want the video to be longer than about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll come back to a part two, and I may even do a part three. So where do I want to start? Let's start with a kind of a freshy, not really a freshie, but it's in that category of easy reach, very popular. We're going to start off with Versace Dylan Blue. I know this fragrance has been getting a lot of hate among reviewers, but it will not get you hate out in public. You know, Mr. Smelly is not going to be walking around at your mall or wherever you're going while you're wearing this, okay? So you don't have to be worrying about him telling you that your fragrance is too generic. This fragrance is not generic though. I mean, it starts off, you get a blast of citruses with bergamot and grapefruit. This it has a nice peppery black pepper note in it. Loads of ambroxan, so you're going to get that fizzy sparkle, that lift, and that just kind of you know, mass appealing, clean smell that ambroxan gives off. What I love about it is the saffron note and the incense, and then there's loads of tonka. So it's really sweet, it'll cut through, but it's got a nice masculine base. It's not all sugar and no spice like a lot of the so-called masculine fragrances are today. This one has a good amount of just, you know, masculine appeal to it. And it's one of my favorite ones. It'll be one of my most worn fragrances here. I'd much rather wear this than Sauvage. I don't know that it gets more compliments for me than Sauvage, but I like the way I smell better than when I'm wearing Sauvage. So I love that one. That one's a great winter fragrance. Let's go with a cheapie now. One that you're familiar with, but most of the time you can pick this up at the rack stores for, you know, 30 bucks or less. And it's Burberry London. It's got the little Burberry handkerchief sweater on the bottle. Cinnamon, lavender, leather, tobacco. This one smells like Christmas. Christmas in a bottle. It smells like a really nice, you know, Christmas room spray without like the candied apple. It don't have any of that in it. It's, you know, similar to Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. It doesn't have, I don't know if this one even has vanilla in it or not, but it's definitely a similar fragrance at a super affordable price, and it's just absolutely smells great. People will love the way you smell. You'll love the way you smell. So there is that one. Let's go to a niche clone. I don't know what all the notes are in this fragrance, but you know what it's cloning here. This is Latafa Oud for Glory, which of course is their version of Initio's Oud for Greatness. And so I know there's oud in it, or at least agar wood. You know, sometimes they'll list it as an oud fragrance, and it doesn't really have oud. It has the wood from the tree that is the oud is harvested from. But I believe that oud actually comes from a diseased part of the tree, maybe. You know, if I'm not right about that, someone correct me. But I know there's not like an oud tree. It's a agar tree that has, you know, a defect on it or whatever, and that defect becomes the oud. Kind of like when you're making knife handles, burl wood comes from a basically kind of an infection on the tree, and the sap starts growing around it, and it grows this big nice burl that looks terrible if you're just looking at the tree. But once you cut it open, it has all these beautiful swirls. That's a good way to describe this fragrance. It's just a loud, mass-appealing, heavy. It's got a little bit of a kind of a medicinal. To me, it smells a little bit like. Well, let's go to the next one on the list. This is a good one. The first day I wore this, I got 2 different compliments at 2 different places from, and it was both women, younger, women in their 30s, late 20s, 30s, something like that. So that's, if compliments mean something to you, which I think it does to all of us, whether we want to admit it or not. But to me, it sort of smells similar to this one, which is Alexandria's Et Sauvage Elixir, which of course is their version of Dior's Sauvage Elixir. And the reason why I bought this instead of Dior is because I had a decant of the Dior Sauvage Elixir. I had a few other knockoffs, but this one to me smelled almost identical, and I was able to get double the volume for half the price. So that makes it roughly a quarter of the price of Sauvage Elixir, but it performs the same, it smells the same. Alexandria, they're hit and miss. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're just good, you know. I don't think I've ever smelled one that just didn't smell like whatever they were trying to clone, but this one's really, really good, and I really love it. You know, lavender in loads, nutmeg, cardamom. There's a licorice note that kind of gives it this little pungent, you know, kind of feel to it. A lot of patchouli. There's amber and vetiver in the base as well. Very masculine. I don't know that this one is as much mass appealing, but it definitely will get you compliments from your guy friends. It's not been so much of a compliment puller from the ladies, but I love the way I smell. I just don't wear it around my wife because she doesn't like it. Okay. What do I want to go to next? Let's go to this one here. We'll do a cheap designer. This is from a car brand. This is Jaguar for Men Privé. This is actually my scent of the day today. If you want a masculine winter fragrance that is not super sweet, in fact, this one is not sweet at all, but you're wanting something that just smells kind of like a, you know, it's Christmassy in the sense that it's got a lot of cypress and cedar, so it kind of smells like a Christmas tree. But it's loaded up with pepper, black and pink pepper. Of course, you get some citruses in the opening, but just a lot of wood, again, from cypress, from cedar, patchouli. I think there's some vetiver, and then there's some ambers, amber and benzoin, and then you got some vanilla. This is a great smelling fragrance, and I saw this one on fragrancebuy.ca. They have it in stock for about $19. If you haven't tried this one, and you know you like very masculine fragrances, now it's not a dated one. It doesn't smell like a hairy-chested, fougere from the 70s or 80s, okay? Italian Cypress by Tom Ford, something in that vein of just a lot of trees and woods. Bottega Veneta Parfum, something like that. But you want it, you don't mind spending $20 to blind buy it, get on Fragrance CA and get you that while it's in stock. Last one I'll do, I don't have my bottle with me. I think one of my sons has snatched it, but we'll put it right here. 1 Million Elixir. Now this one is a super sweet one, but it's a great one. Apple, Damascus Rose, Cedar, Vanilla Absolute, loads of tonka and patchouli. It's masculine, but it's sweet. It does rose as good as any fragrance that has rose in it. I'm not a rose fan, but I really like it in this fragrance. 1 Million. It's a compliment puller beast. Everybody likes it. Young people, middle-aged folks, probably older folks like the way it smells on you, even if they don't want to wear it. You can wear this out, if you're going out to a party or whatever. You don't want to wear this probably in your office unless you spray once, just light. But if you want to grab attention, you want to smell great, you're going out, especially if you're going outside, you can wear this. People will smell it, and they'll love the way you smell. All right, that's part one of my favorite winter fragrances. Make sure you like the video and do all those things. But please do leave me a comment and let me know what you like to wear in the wintertime. And I just noticed I left off one of my fragrances. I got to remember to put that in video number 2. All right, till we see you down the road, we say God bless. Frag on, frag fans.